It until it was time. Hi, everyone. We are live. I'm Dawn Loading. I am a real estate agent, and I'm also the creator of Freedom to Flourish Through Real Estate. So if you're joining me here today, you've been invited on my business page or in my private group, and you're a real estate agent. And I invited you today because I have a special guest and a good friend of mine and a coach of mine who I just absolutely love, April Pertuis. April, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to
Yes,
be here.
ma'am. Me too. So April has a group that I've been a part of now for, I think, like 2 years.
Probably at least 2 years. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Honestly, we wouldn't be doing this StreamYard if it weren't for you because I got this from your platform and I love it. So,
Yeah.
so here we are. So April used to be a journalist and on some channels that we know, and she's an author, and she's also one of the co-authors of the book that I wrote.
Mhm.
I forget about that. Step
Yes,
into
don't forget about that.
No,
Step
I
into your
know.
grave.
Step into your brave. And honestly, April, like that is what I've been doing ever since I met you. You have taught me through storytelling to really find my story and live
Mhm.
out loud.
Yeah.
And so, thanks for being our guest today. We have a lot of realtors on here, and realtors, I train, I'm a certified
Mhm.
mentor. I bring people into the real estate business and I help them build their business. So,
Right.
one of the things that I hear the most is agents, especially women, do not want to put themselves out there. They
Yep.
do not, they're scared to death of what people are going to think of them. And I get it because it is scary. It's like, it's so scary to have to put on that hat and live out loud, but it's also so important. So tell us, what is storytelling, first of all?
Well, I definitely thank you for having me. And I definitely want to speak more to that point of where that fear and what that fear is all about and how we can maybe tackle some of that today. But in general, when you think about storytelling, and storytelling is one of those things that has been around since the beginning of time for a reason. We think back to the caveman days, they literally told their stories by painting on the inside of a wall to account for their existence. And if we just kind of leave it there, like that's a pretty good description of what storytelling is. It's a way to account for and to share the version of your existence, to share your lived experiences, and to transform and inform other people as a result of you sharing that story. So, storytelling is so critical for knowledge, it's critical for understanding, it's critical for creating connection, it's critical for um, to building community. It's critical for so many things. And in today's day and age, it is also really critical for business and business
Yeah.
owners. It's really important. And if we talk about real estate is a relationship business.
Yeah. People.
You are walking alongside people during one of the most important decisions of their lives. So
Yeah.
you becoming a storyteller in addition to becoming a real estate agent would absolutely transform not only the way you communicate about your real estate business, but also it would transform your relationship personally with your business. Like it would
It
transform how
does.
you feel about it,
It really does, because people want to work with people they know, love, and trust. And
Absolutely.
the number one way to do that these days is through video and telling your story. And we all
It's
know that
it's
as
one
real
of the
estate
number one
agents.
ways in the digital format for sure.
Yeah.
Like we are all using tools of the digital age right now, right? We're on social media, we're streaming live into a bunch of different places, and
Right.
you and I are in different houses right now. We actually do live in the same town, but we could
Yeah.
literally be in different countries right now and
Yep.
communicating. So using video and using the tools of the digital age are important for storytelling, as are the ways that we've been telling stories since the beginning of time, which is, verbal communication with, one-on-one as well. But we have both available to us, so why not use both?
Exactly. Love it. So now we know what it is. Let's talk a little bit about why it's so important to use it,
Yeah, it is
especially for
so.
real estate agents.
Right, especially as it pertains to real estate agents. Well, if you look at the real estate market, and especially if you look at your individual market of where you are currently buying and helping others buy and sell homes, right? You're walking the daily walk of working with buyers and working with sellers. You are in a market, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say that you're not the only real estate agent that does that, that is also selling to that same market, that is also buying and selling with other buyers, or that is also helping buyers and sellers in that market, right?
If
It's
you
not just
only knew how
one.
true that was in this town. I have
Yeah,
so many
it's true in
friends,
every town.
but that's okay.
It is
That's okay.
absolutely
There's
okay. This is
enough
not.
business for all of us, and we all have our tribes. That's why the whole storytelling thing, you don't have to tell it to the world, you have to tell it to your people.
That's exactly right. And that's going to be the thing that differentiates you from just other realtors. I mean, there's enough business to go around for everybody. So this is not a conversation around being competitive. This is
Right.
a conversation around really being able to connect and build business with people who are watching you, people who may want to do business with you, people who may want to list a house or buy a house in the future, and they don't have a strong relationship with a realtor. I have used multiple realtors in my lifetime of buying and moving homes, right? The realtor that I've gone back to over and over again is the realtor that I have a personal relationship with. The reason I have a personal relationship with that particular realtor is because that realtor has opened up and shared beyond their expertise with me. I know they're a really good realtor, but now I also know, pertinent information about their
Yes.
life. We literally do become friends. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sure so many realtors do call their clients friends. You have your annual client appreciation events and things like that. And that's a really beautiful time for you to further do some storytelling with your audience, so that not only will they remain a client for future transactions, but they will also refer you out. They're going to go, I have the best realtor. You're just going to love her. She's got 3 kids. She raises chickens in the backyard. They're going to tell you everything about that realtor that has nothing to do with real estate.
Yeah.
So that is what you want. And that is why storytelling is so important. And it goes back to what I said earlier. It helps you build community. It helps you build connection. It helps, account for your personal existence in this world, which is so important. And it just really helps you, like you said, build that know, like, and trust with other
Yeah.
people, because people feel like they know you now. But if you're
Yeah.
just going to show up and be transactional and be
Yeah.
the realtor
And there
that I'm
are
here to just do my real estate and go home at the end of the day, then storytelling's not going to be for you. And
it
you will have
yeah.
to find a different way to penetrate the market.
It's
But
called cold
I'm
calling.
I'm advocating for using ways that are a little bit easier and a lot more fun.
And I love it because, and let me tell you, one of the things I've done this year, and I think it's really connected me to a lot more of my database, is, the market was pretty
Mhm.
slow earlier this year and the end of last year. And so I decided to create a financial freedom series.
Mhm.
And I have guest speakers on here three
Mhm.
times a month. I have a credit repair person, I have an estate planner attorney, and I have my investor lender, all talking about building wealth, getting control of your money. So I took it away from real estate completely, and I put this series out there, and I have people comment all the time on how they love it. And it's my journey. It's my journey this year to really take control of my money and have my money work
Mhm.
for me rather than just making it and not really knowing what I'm doing. I wanted to really
Mhm.
educate myself. And I thought, dang, I should just bring my database on this journey. And so I do a weekly newsletter and I tell the story all the time. And I love it. It gives me content, it gives me ideas. And I started that with one of your story prompts. So April has a group called Lightbeamers in Facebook, and it is just amazing, an amazing, amazing group of non-judgmental people who will help you, and just such a great group. And that's where I started my journey with you. I didn't know you were taking me on all these other journeys, but
I
must be
think
meant
that's
to
just it
be.
because you said earlier, a lot of real estate agents and especially women are very fearful of putting themselves out there and very fearful of the judgment. And, if I go and share pieces of my story, it's just going to be too raw, too vulnerable, and too uncomfortable. And the reality is they're not doing it. Like if you're saying these things, you are not actively putting yourself out there and even trying it, right? So you're speaking a story that you don't know to be true. So you are limiting yourself from actually what is possible. And what is possible is everything that we've been talking about: more connections, stronger relationships, more opportunities, better referral sources and networks and things like that, and a whole lot of fun. Instead, you're making up a story about other people are going to judge me and it's going to be scary and I'll be vulnerable and it's too dangerous and all the things. And even like sneaky ways that we do it by saying, well, I don't really know how to do that. And I don't have time for social media and I don't have time for this. They just make up all kinds of excuses. And the thing of it is that you've got to make a commitment. You've got to decide, do you actually want to be in relationship with your clients and potential clients? Do you want to run a real estate business that's purely transactional? Or do you want it to be relational? If you're choosing relational and you do want to be in communication and in relationship with your clients and your potential clients, then you're going to have to get out of your own way and you're going to have to learn how to make friends, right? And how we make friends is how we talk to people. We treat our audience like a best friend. And when you start to look at your audience, your social media, and all the ways you could be interacting with people, you will see that you're just showing up and sharing stories that you would naturally share with a friend. And what happens is those buyers, those potential buyers and sellers, you're going to attract them closer and closer and closer to you because they see you for who you really are instead of just this, I'm a transactional person only. Most of us just don't really care for that. And so it's going to be really hard to use social media and use the digital tools that we have available to us today, and using that to your advantage. So this is why I teach storytelling inside Lightbeamers, because I want to show you how to make it accessible. Some story prompt that I shared with you took you on this journey of starting to talk about certain things that you weren't talking about. And now you're talking about them. And not
Yeah.
only are you talking about them, you're building a whole series around it and you're taking your audience on a journey with you, and the story isn't done yet, and that's okay. And you're just willing to just be real. And those who don't resonate with that, you can be okay with it. You're like, well,
Yeah.
then they can go find another real estate agent that they do resonate with, and that's okay,
Yeah.
because this
And
isn't about competition, as we said in the
yeah,
beginning.
that's so important right there too, because real estate agents, they need to realize you're not trying to connect to the entire world.
That's
You're
right.
not trying to be a social famous person.
Mhm.
You're literally, it's just a way to communicate with your people. So I teach a program, not really a program, but part of what I teach is in Facebook to be intentional with your audience and to
Yeah.
really create the list, go in, the people you want to know what's going on in their lives and you want them to follow you, you've got to go and engage with them on
Yes.
their social media. And, there's all kinds of things being taught about out there on that. You just have to figure out as an agent what are going to be your funnels. One of my funnels is social social media. I'm on social media. I want my audience to see. I work on my business pages. It's a journey. It's all definitely a journey, and it's not something that you new agents are going to just jump right in. But join April's Lightbeamers group. Is the link to your Facebook group on lightbeamers.com?
Yeah, you just go
Okay,
to lightbeamers.com and click on
perfect.
community
There.
and it'll take you right there. Yes.
Yay! Free
Yeah.
group, amazing tools in there. April, you are just amazing. And I'm so grateful that I met your husband in our town to learn who you were, to really connect with you. And now
So
I never
fun.
even see Kyle. I'm just like, oh, it's April. It's all about April. So
Well, you know why? Because we became friends
yes,
because
we
we've heard
did.
each other's stories and we connect at a deeper level. It's not just, we don't just have a client relationship, we have a friendship, and that's the way I want to do business. I don't want to do business with people who don't know me. I don't want to do business and put up some sort of facade about who I am. I
Yeah.
want to be real and I want to be authentic. And the more that I share my stories, that allows me to do that. And, even back to some of your new agents, I would say, it does take a lot to run a business. You have to learn the websites and the systems that you all use, and the CRMs and the social media, and there's so many things to learn, and you will learn all of that in due
You
time.
only have to learn one at a time.
Only one at a
And when you
time.
learn that one, it makes the next one be that much easier. And so,
And I would
agents
also just say that even before all of that, you can actually implement storytelling to work for
yeah,
you. And when I first started my business and growing it online, I didn't have any of those tools either. I don't use the same tools as real estate agents, but it's all
right.
similar, right?
But
And so
similar, yeah.
I had to go learn all of that too.
I
And
did
so
too.
while I was in the behind the scenes, spending some parts of my day learning and building and all of those things, the other parts of my day I was spending focusing on storytelling.
Yeah.
So just focus on really good storytelling and the rest will fall into place. But in the meantime, your audience will build and build and build and become so strong. Those audiences turn into clients, referrals, support network. It's really beautiful what happens from putting yourself out there.
I love it. I love it. Um, you know, I just totally went blank with where I was gonna go next.
It's okay. It's all good. It's all good. Welcome to
But
my world. I understand it.
yeah, no
It's like,
kidding.
oh, there went that thought. It's over
Uh,
there now. I have no idea.
that and calling my kids the wrong names. I have 4 sons, and so I'm constantly calling Garrett like Jared or Tanner, and I'm like he's like, "Mom."
You go down the list.
Right.
It's all
Um,
good.
well, I'm just super grateful for you, for Light Beamers, for the book. I don't give the book enough credit in my own little world, but what a gift that was. It sits right here. Here it is. Step into your brave. There's April right
Mhm.
there.
And
So it
you on the
and
back, you're in
me on
there.
the
Your
back, one of
story is
the
in there right
yep.
there.
Exactly, and I learned a lot through that process, so I know you're working on the 3rd book now. Do you have any is that gonna be the last one?
Yes, we have so the book that you were a part of, and for those that don't know, it's a collaborative book series that I started. And we've had 2 books published so far. Dawn was published in the second book, helping women tell their story. So they had an opportunity to come in and write with us and work under me and my coaching and work with our publisher to learn more about the publishing industry and just really learn about how putting yourself out there and gaining visibility around sharing your story and what it can do for you. And so we publish those women's stories in our books. And so we have a 3rd book that we are currently writing. In fact, I've been writing all day today. That's what I
Oh,
personally have been working on, is the chapter that I'm writing. And that book will be out in the fall. So I can't wait. And it is for now, it's our final one in this series. We may revive it at a future date, but for now, this is a completion project with our 3rd book.
awesome. Well, I will tell you that gave me a lot of content and really helped me to find out who I was, made me take a look back over everything that I've done to figure out where I am now. Because I
Yeah.
know a lot of realtors get their real estate license. They want to have a business, but they're not really sure what to do. And that's what I help do in my group, Real Estate Untangled. You're probably in it if you're on this call or you're getting this recording, but if you're not, reach out to me. I'll definitely connect you. It is a closed private group, but um, we go over all the different areas of building your real estate
Mhm.
business. And I'm telling you, this is a gift. This lady right here is definitely got onto something in her group for helping you to be able to put yourself out there, to figure. She has all the tools too to help you figure out what your story is. So definitely go check out lightbeamers.com. And April, thank you so much for being on here today.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you so much. And you're
Thanks
going to
for
be my
having
guest.
me.
You're going to be my guest next month in
I'm
Power
looking for
Girls.
it. I'm looking forward to it.
So
That's always fun.
yeah,
I spoke last year, I think. Last
yeah,
year,
you did.
maybe
And
around
they
this time.
loved you.
It
They
was
loved
fun,
you,
and I look
loved you.
forward to doing
So
it again. So yes, bring your real estate agent friends over there
I will. I'll
if
be
you're not
sending that
already with
out.
Dawn and Power
Yeah.
Girls.
Awesome. All right. Well, everybody, make it a great day, and I will see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.